why are we doing this? Like, this is what Real Madrid has turned into? Really? Maybe he is the solution to this madness and chaos. But again, as a Real Madrid fan, I have to hope. I have to hope for the best. Hello everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Let's Talk Footy. My name is Shaheen, and let's get right to it. Today I'll be talking about Real Madrid a little bit more because I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a bit frustrated, just like a lot of Real Madrid fans nowadays. I'm a bit nervous because of everything happening, to be honest, but also because of the upcoming Champions League return leg against Arsenal in a couple of days. Real Madrid just played Alaves, Deportivo Alaves. They won 1-0 away, reduced the gap between themselves and Barcelona back to 4 points, so it was a crucial win. When champions become champions, they have to win games the ugly way. And that's what Barcelona, for example, did yesterday against Leganés. And if Real Madrid was having a better season, you could say the same thing about them after today's game. You know, they weren't brilliant. They had to work hard. There were some ups and downs in the game, which we're going to get into in a second. But they were able to win the game. However, it's been like this for a long time this season. There has been way too many games where they're just struggling. They get lucky, and somehow they've been able to keep up. But it's still not good enough because they're not obviously performing well in the league. They're not consistent, and they're not performing properly in the Champions League. Now, having said all this, yes, Real Madrid is still alive in all three competitions. They're in the Copa del Rey final against Barcelona, which is coming up soon. They are still alive in the league, in LaLiga. And the El Clasico league game against Barcelona on May, I believe, 11th is going to be crucial. Is Barcelona going to drop any points until then? Is Real Madrid going to win every single league game until then? But that El Clasico game is going to be crucial and big. And obviously, they have a very, very difficult job to do against Arsenal on Wednesday night. But let's go to today's game against Alaves. If I'm Mbappe, right? It's my first season at Real Madrid, sure. The expectations aren't unreal, even though it's Mbappe and it's Real Madrid. But I want to win 1 or 2 titles with Real Madrid in my first season. Like, this has to be the goal. If you want to be the best player in the world, playing for the best team in the world, you have to have high ambitions and high goals for yourself. I want to win a couple titles with Real Madrid, at least one. I want to be the best I can be in my debut season. And he is kind of fighting for the Pichichi top goal scorer in the league with Lewandowski. Barcelona played yesterday. Lewandowski played the game. And I think Lewandowski is a couple goals ahead of him in the race for the Pichichi trophy. And Lewandowski didn't score. So this is a perfect opportunity for Mbappe to catch up or to even go ahead. It's an away game. Real Madrid has to win. Expectations are high. They need to, after that embarrassing result against Arsenal in the Champions League, they need to show a strong performance and they need to score some goals to hype up the fans, but also hype themselves up. You know, like, come on, we can do better than this. What does he do instead? He loses cool. He goes into a very, very, very reckless challenge, and to be honest, it was a deserved red card. He is going to be suspended for a couple games. I think minimum 3, I would say. If he's lucky to get away with less than that, he will be very lucky if he does get away with less than that. But that reckless challenge to get sent off when it's so unnecessary, and it's a pattern now with Real Madrid. Real Madrid players are just, this is like, don't turn into Man United or Spurs or whatever. Like, come on, you're Real Madrid. I sound like I'm Gary Neville trying to defend Man United. Honestly, like, you can't be like that. You can't behave like that. And you know, I love Carlo Ancelotti, and I will defend him as much as I can. And the success he's had, the trophies he's won with Real Madrid, the work he's done, and his coaching staff, it's brilliant. But he wasn't even on the bench today because he is suspended because he got a yellow card against Valencia in the last game, and he got a surprise suspension. So he was in the stands, and his son, his assistant coach, was on the bench today. But that sets the tone, that sets the example. And if you look at the stats, from minute 80 to minute 95, 98, Real Madrid got 4 yellow cards. Minute 80, Camavinga. You just got sent off in the Champions League. You're not going to play the upcoming return leg on Wednesday. So the team expects you to complete the game, have a good performance. You've already scored a nice goal. The team is winning. It's minute 80. Anything can happen. Avoid unnecessary fouls and avoid unnecessary yellow cards or red cards. And he gets a yellow. So now he is, in the left back position. It's not good. It's really not good. Lucas Vazquez, the captain, supposedly. Minute 88, yellow card. Vinicius Jr., he came on minute what? Minute 62. Minute 90, of course Vinicius gets a yellow card. Couple minutes after that, Thibaut Courtois gets a yellow card. I get it. They're 1-0. The game's about to end. He's wasting time. Fine. But the point is, why are we doing this? This is what Real Madrid has turned into? Really? We have to whine and complain and waste time like this against Alaves? With all respects to Deportivo Alaves, I don't want to take anything away from them, but they're in the relegation zone fighting for survival. And Real Madrid barely gets away with a 1-0 win after losing 3-0 to Arsenal with a big upcoming game against Arsenal in the second leg of Champions League. And they need to keep up with Barcelona in the league. Mbappe gets a red card. Carlo Ancelotti is suspended and he's not on the bench. And Real Madrid players towards the end of the game are giving unnecessary fouls, yellow cards. It could be an easy second yellow. Games like this can get heated. You just expect a bit more class and maturity from a team like Real Madrid, from players that play for Real Madrid, from the coaches that coach Real Madrid. And at the moment, it's below standards, I would say. I don't know what's going on. This season has been, to be honest, I don't remember the last time I watched a Real Madrid game and I was satisfied with the performance. I was like, this is a good performance. Like a full game. A full, solid performance, control. I don't remember. I don't know. And do they deserve to win anything this season, to be honest? Do they deserve to come back against Arsenal? Arsenal played amazing in the first leg. They deserved the win. It could have been worse. Even Bellingham came out in the post-game interview and he said they got away with 3 only. It could have been worse. And if they continue behaving like this and if they continue performing like this, things can get very, very ugly on Wednesday night in the Champions League second leg against Arsenal at home at the Bernabeu. And if that does happen, I tell you what, Real Madrid fans, and I'm one of them, but fans at the Bernabeu, Madrid fans in Madrid, in Spain, they are ruthless. They will whistle you, they will be vocal, they will be loud, and they will make sure they're heard and you hear them, and things will get very, very ugly. So Real Madrid needs to, they need to change something, man. I don't know if it's Carlo Ancelotti, if its time is up. There's a lot of rumors about some coaches coming in, Xabi Alonso, Jurgen Klopp. To be honest, I think better than both of those is Zinedine Zidane. He's come back once in his second spot, Real Madrid. His biggest strength, he's won 3 Champions Leagues in a row. So his actual results and stats are really good with Real Madrid, the only team he's coached. And one of his biggest strengths is managing big names. He's French, Mbappe is French, there's a lot of French players on the team, and he just has this aura, and players, they have no choice, they have to respect him. Everybody has to respect Zidane. So maybe he is the solution to this madness and chaos and this just whining, and I just don't like it, man. I don't like it when, I've criticized Man United players. I've criticized Spurs. I've criticized every single team I can think of. And not because I'm a hater, because I just don't like players and teams acting like this and playing, just going very low and just not doing their job, not putting their head down and doing what they're supposed to be doing. And, I have to be honest with myself. Real Madrid has been like that this season, for most of the season at least. Real Madrid players are better than that. They should be better than that. They need to perform better than that. They need to behave better than that. They need to stop. It's not about them. It's about the team. When you play for Real Madrid, you have to understand, yes, you have the opportunity to become a superstar, to become a well-known player, to win a lot of individual accolades. But if you don't play for Real Madrid, for the team, and if the team doesn't get success, you're not going to last very long. You're just not. And Real Madrid players need to realize this. Carlo Ancelotti has, I personally believe he's giving them a bit too much freedom. And is he losing control of the squad, of the roster? I don't know. Ancelotti is a big name. He's respected. I would like to say no. He hasn't lost control, but it's not looking good for him. It's not looking good for Real Madrid. Perez is ruthless. If he needs to show the door, he's going to show you the door. I don't know what's going on, but against Arsenal coming up, they can't turn things around if they play like this. Again, Real Madrid has done the impossible in the Champions League many, many times. And I can look at this in two ways. I can look at this as a fan, passionately, say, we got this, be behind my team, and hope, which I do. I hope they can come back. I hope they can turn things around, go to the semifinals of the Champions League. I really do hope so, because I'm a big Real Madrid fan. But as a critic, as a pundit, if I take emotions out of it, and if I'm being honest, it's not looking good. I mean, in the previous years, they've had something. They've either been good defensively, they've either had some good leaders like Benzema, like Toni Kroos, like Cristiano Ronaldo's. They've had players that have taken that ownership and leadership role and led the team forward. I just don't see that player right now at Real Madrid. You would think Luka Modric could be that player, but with the amount of minutes he's getting, because they're not consistent, or the way the things are going at Real Madrid right now, he hasn't been that successful. And if I'm being honest, it's not likely. It's not likely. But again, as a Real Madrid fan, I have to hope. I have to hope for the best. I have to sit down, watch the game, and I have to, say to myself that I need to back my team up. I need every fan does. Every fan does. So us Real Madrid fans are hopeful. We know Real Madrid could turn things around, but logically, it's going to be a nervous game. That's for sure. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna cheer for my team, but I just don't know, man. I really don't know. It looks like Kylian Mbappé is going to be suspended for a couple games after today's red card, deservedly so, which means he's probably not going to win the Pichichi, which means his red card and his suspension is definitely going to affect Real Madrid's chances in La Liga. So, it's a learning moment for Kylian Mbappé. I feel like I've said this phrase many times this season about Real Madrid and Real Madrid players. Learning moment. But it really is, because what's done is done. Real Madrid is going to suffer without Mbappe for a couple games for sure. He's going to be suspended, and it's going to affect them. Is it Endrick's time to come and, show what he's worth? Arda Güler, Brahim Diaz, or all the other players need to step up a little bit. Vinicius needs to step it up. He's been so inconsistent, and that Ballon d'Or loss really affected him. It really did. But again, learning moment for Vinicius. So yeah, just reckless, immature. It happens, whatever. Let's hope Real Madrid at least comes out strong on Wednesday against Arsenal and performs well. If they go out, but they go out with their chins held high, fighting, competing, performing properly, I wouldn't mind that. I would say, even though you lost, even though you're out, you fought. You gave your absolute best, even though you didn't in the first leg. At least you try to turn things around. But if they come out and they behave and play like they just did against Alaves, and they have for majority of the season, I don't know, man. I can only defend my team so much. I can only defend Carlo Ancelotti so much. And if they don't play well, and if they get knocked out of the Champions League, with Mbappe getting a red card and getting suspended for the next few games, La Liga is going to be tough for them, because emotionally and mentally it's going to affect the team, and it's going to be hard to just get back and perform and play. And then at the end of the month, they have the Copa del Rey final against Barcelona. They've lost to Barcelona multiple times, twice I think this season so far, and they've been bad losses. Barcelona has dominated both of those games, and then they have to play Barcelona again in the league to reduce the gap. Let's hope by then the gap is not even bigger. But yeah, anyways, I'm just venting at this moment. I'm stressing, man. I don't know. My hair is just all turning gray now at this point, and half of it is because of Real Madrid this season. It is what it is. Anyways, thank you guys for watching and listening. If you've lasted this long, please give the video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. It helps me a lot. It keeps me motivated to post more consistently. And I'm definitely going to be back for sure on Wednesday for the Champions League game against Arsenal. Until then, take care.